Glenn Head and Haley Todd. HRE Race Engines, L-Therm Window Systems, Windows to the World, and Lucas Oils, because they work. The wind really picking up now, so this means that the spray created in the early part of the lap is going to be hitting driver and navigator fair in the face, making it very, very difficult. But Glenn Head and Haley Todd know they don't need to push this one too hard. They've just got to get around, and Glenn Head will not be pushing for an outright quickest time, I dare say. New Zealand number one at the moment. The split's a cracker, 28.714. So Glenn Head and Haley Todd now in this final push for home. The sweeping left around Novus to come. That's a good time, 42.922. Certainly not his best, but he didn't need to push that one. It's just putting the wood on the rest of the guys. Robert White will be out next, our man from Invercargill. We want to see this bloke absolutely nail this boat, because we know that he can drive. Hasn't been behind the wheel of a V8 Jetsprint boat for some time. In fact, it is Kyle Patrick now in Psycho Racing. Darren Todd coming off the trailer at the moment. So Kyle Patrick, the man behind the wheel, Darren Todd, the navigator, the Vickers Aircraft Company, Prosper Mortgages and Finances, and Positive Electrics out of Oregon in the US of A on board as the sponsors here. So these two really need to work together as a team to get this boat around the course. They haven't had the best of days so far. The boat has been porpoising, the trim has been wrong. They've got plenty of power, they've got plenty of ability. A lot of water coming off the bow of this Stinger hull. So at the moment, it's looking pretty good. Kyle Patrick certainly not driving this as hard as he could. Porpoising again, seems to be getting less porpoise the more he puts into it. The hairpin, not too bad, not unreal though. So he's just got to be quicker than three others. The split is well down at a 32.752. He needs to be quicker than Glenn Head. He needs to be quicker than Scott Donald. He needs to be quicker than Robert White to be progressing into the top three. We're already locked in Sam Newdick, I dare say, and Glenn Head. Kyle Patrick, 48.768. So some 5.8 seconds slower than Glenn Head, but as I said, we would assume he's parked it up on the island, ladies and gentlemen. Lack of concentration, parks it up on the dirt, and that's not a good idea. I love that little sound effect. That is just so much fun, because nobody wants to hear that when you're parked up. So, ladies and gentlemen, give our American racer and the Kiwi navigator, Kyle and Toddy, a Bronx cheer. Well, it's getting hot. The safety crew are all fairly happy to be jumping in the water and cooling down a little bit. Throw a little bit of music on, and we'll be back as soon as we effect the rescue of Psycho Racing. So it is Robert White, Whitey the fisherman from Invercargill coming up next. Lisa the Grub doing the navigational duties. Her first time in the silly seat of a V8 Jetsprint boat, and she has been doing a wonderful job. Will she have the ability to keep Robert White on course? He has a tendency to be slightly erratic, and have a look at that. He's gone into this because he knows this is the last opportunity to get to that top three. There is no mucking around. The time he needs to beat is a 48.7 of Kyle Patrick. He's really going to have to pull one out here. He's Whitey. Been around the sport for a number of years. Grabs a little bit of dirt, gets the boat airborne, lands it beautifully, hits the PSP hairpin wonderfully. The split is great at a 30.924. Robert White driving the wheels, driving the fins, driving the impellers of this boat. So Robert White into the finish, grabs a heap of dirt, and into P2 with a 46.657. P2 for Robert White. Wow, Kyle Patrick now sitting on the bubble. So the American with the Kiwi Navigator sitting on the bubble in the top three. The time that Ruben Hockseamer needs to beat in this Supra-powered boat is a 48.76. Can Ruben achieve it? Takes a while for this turbo to spool up and get underway. The wind picking up, making it a lot harder. The spray will be hitting the drivers and navigators fair in the face in certain parts of the track. There we go, it's spooled and it's away. So Ruben Hockseamer really needs to stitch this one together. He's just got to be smooth. Nice, very tight line coming back towards commentary there. Around Lucas Oils for the final time in this lap. Into the hairpin. How's he going to set it up? He sets it up very nicely indeed. The young man has come a very long way in a very, very short time. There is no doubt about that. The split is a 32.011. He was quicker at the split than Kyle Patrick by 0.7 of a second. Will he be able to bring it home? Kyle Patrick sitting on the bubble. Ruben Hockseamer into P3. So it's now Ruben Hockseamer sitting on the bubble. Kyle Patrick is on the trailer for the rest of the day. So Kyle Patrick has moved himself out of the running of the top three. Ruben Hockseamer has put himself right in there. Scott Donald and Sam Newdick still to come. Scotty Donald, wicked too. Nicole Reesby doing the navigational duties, the pairing from Featherston, the farmer and the accountant respectively. As I've mentioned all day, very, very confidence-driven team. If they get it wrong early, it's a long way back for them. But the last couple of runs have been very good indeed. Hopefully they put the rest of the early part of the day behind them. Scotty Donald is leading the Unlimited Championship at the moment. Will he be able to maintain that edge? The ease off into Lucas Oils meant that it was a very nice arc around the roundabout, around the donut. Nicole Reesby, as always, with her hand well out the front, being very confident indeed. They know they don't have to push too hard. They know that the time they need to beat is that of Ruben Hockseamer of a 47.8. Not insurmountable. The split is 30.586, so quicker than Ruben Hockseamer by 2 full seconds. Just got to maintain the momentum, not do anything stupid. And Scotty Donald there with a 45.882 into P2. That is the end of Ruben Hockseamer for the day. Now putting Robert White firmly on the bubble with a 46.6 is the time that Sam Newdick needs to beat, and we know that he's more than capable. He's been in the low 42s. You can see on the big screen there, the Altherm team in the back of the boat. There's 3 mechanics in there. There's an overseer as well. What has gone on with the L-Therm machine? Yeah, they'll run it as a top. You can go into the top 3, they'll run it as a top 4 if it doesn't get pushed out.
Explain that to me.
I will in a minute. So lots of nervous looks down there from the L-Therm team. Now, news just to hand, Robert White is on a day licence. So that means that he is not allowed to interrupt the overall championship. If Sam Newdick gets a DNF because he's under the time clock at the moment, he needs to present to the track within the 10-minute time clock as we see the Group B boats coming down to the ramp for their top 3 shootout. But if it turns out that Sam Newdick cannot run this round for whatever reason, it will be a top 4 shootout in the unlimited category because Robert White cannot take overall championship points on a day licence. So just try to cast my eyes down to the pits there. It looks as though the L-Therm machine is now coming back down the ramp and onto the water. Sam Newdick and Sharma Putranui. So there is the fire in the belly of the L-Therm machine, just struggling to see through the St John's ambulance there at the minute. But again, Claudia Edwards just heading in to the local hospital just for observation purposes, ladies and gentlemen, and that is great news. The safety components of these boats are fantastic. The 6-point safety harnesses, the neck braces, the harness devices, the helmets, the 3-layer fireproof race suits. So safety, all important and paramount. So Sam Newdick there on the screen coming off the trailer. He normally would be racing with the PSP racing team in the unlimited category. Glenn Head, of course, offering the B drive in the L-Therm window systems boat. Glenn Head posted not his best time in the top 6 of a 42.9. So the time that we want to see Sam beat is a 47.805. To be able to progress into the top 3. We know that he is more than capable of doing it. And have a look at the pace he's carrying. Have a look at the aggression. Have a look at the smoothness. This man isn't a multiple New Zealand champion for nothing. Looking the goods out there. World champion navigator Sharma Putranui doing the navigational duties, working well together as a team. The first time they've been put together. The split is going to be shit hot and shiny at a 28.313. That's the quickest split of the day. So Sam Newdick cementing his spot in the top 3 with a 42.487. So that is the end of Robert White. That is the end of Ruben Hockseamer. That is the end of Kyle Patrick. Top 3, slowest to fastest, unlimited will be Scott Donald, Glenn Head, and that man, Sam Newdick. Oh, how good is this, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you're enjoying the day. While we're just waiting for our Group B boats to come out onto the track, we'd like to thank everybody associated here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to such a wonderful day. We've got 9 more runs left to go. We'd like to thank the Southern Jetsprint Club, Lloyd and Julie Ferguson. Thank you so very much. Obviously, Oxbow, get down there. Adventure Plus, make sure you get down there because it is one wild ride in those 4-seater boats and 4-wheel drives. Don't forget the clay shooting down there. We'd like to thank our rescue crew. Our timing people have been absolutely splendiferous. Some of them quite ugly, some of them quite pretty, but they have performed splendiferously, no doubt about that.